and sit down.
Hey everybody, this is David with Parts and Pieces. How y'all doing? I told y'all in the last video that I would give y'all a rundown and a run through of Mean Queen here. I want to go front to back, all the way around, underneath, and I'm going to explain a bunch of stuff that I did and what I used, what I bought, what I used for free, or what I got for free and used. So, I'm going to make it not really detailed. If y'all have any questions about anything that I'm talking about or anything you see, just ask in the comments. Like I said, I'll answer as best as I can for you, and I do have pictures and all kinds of stuff I'm going to add to this if I can. If I can't, I'll post them all on my Facebook for y'all if y'all follow me on Facebook. But like I said, I'm going to go through everything real quick for y'all and show y'all some stuff. After posting all this on Facebook yesterday, I ended up coming up with a lot of questions that really worked out for this video a lot better than me just making one. So I'm going to try to focus on some of the stuff that I got more questions about through Facebook about it through this video too, since obviously that's stuff that y'all want to hear about more. So I'm going to go through it, show you all this, and I'll crank it up and show you everything while it's running and all that good stuff. But real quick, if y'all do and have not seen the first video of this mower where I said what I was going to do to it, I'll post a picture real quick, show you what it looked like beforehand. This is what it looks like now, obviously. So, but like I said, I'll go into more detail on that a little bit later. Let's get started with this, and I'm going to start on the front, work our way around it. Hold on one second, guys. All right, starting with the front. This bumper is a Polaris bumper. I ordered it off eBay used. It really looked like a stock one that had never been used, but somebody pulled it off and put another one on. But I got that one, $10. I think it was $10 off eBay, 10 or 12 bucks. That's what that is. I added the pipe down each side. Front bumper. Let's see here. These, the brackets, are actually Christmas tree stand. The three-leg Christmas tree stand. I cut them legs off They are steel, they are heavy duty. Gives it that little fanciness for inside here. I have fog lights, as y'all saw in the video and pictures. They are blue, perfect for, you know, putting light around the bottom of the mower, or even straight while you're driving. It ain't blinding the person behind you or in front of you. I have one in the back too. Inside here, this is an old motorcycle sprocket skid plate. That's what I use it for. Works good. I know it ain't solid, but it'll stop stuff from flying up in there for the most part. Sturdies it up. All right, this is old metal grate. That's all that is. I welded it on the inside, took a hammer, a soft rubber hammer, and bent it to kind of go with the front end. Lights. Oh, I already had this. All the other scrap metal you see, other than what I point out I buy, I picked up on the side of the road or in the trash, blah blah blah, anywhere I can find it. The headlights we ordered off eBay. They were $8.99. They are called 1-inch fog lights. They are very bright, as y'all saw in the picture. They work very good, but that's what I have in there. Painted the housing black. All right, now as for the eyelashes, she wanted some. I didn't want them plastic ones you order offline, so I took a rake and I chopped the rake into a couple pieces and tack welded on there, put a little bar in there, metal bar, and there's your eyelashes. This same concept as I have on ratchet, put it right above the air breather, and here, let me see, it's got screen in it and a little hole, and it falls pretty much right on the back side of the air breather, just over it. It does suck air down in there. It helps, I promise. Plus it looks cool. But all right, let's work our way around. Now let's go ahead and just talk about the paint job. Everybody seems to like the paint job, and I've already had a few people say it must have took me a while. Well, it really didn't, to be honest with you. What we did, me and my wife talked about a few, hold on a second. Me and my wife talked about a few different paint schemes, and she just thought I was gonna do something basic. But I told her to cut me out some templates out of cardboard. There's a skull and a crown. What I did was I took a skewer and stuck in the cardboard on each of them, and took that skewer and held it and kind of found how I could make a pattern across the mower. The best pattern I could to fill up the mower and make it look uniform. So starting here worked. I took the spray can and went, you know, hold on a second. You know what I mean? You went shh around very gently. Then I would take the crown, and obviously you see I did the same thing, just spray painted a little bit around it. I have some pictures and video of that I will add into this. But guys, that's really it. It was cardboard templates that I cut out, and look, they're not even perfect. But my wife, actually my wife drew them up and cut them out, misses parts and pieces, and that's what we used. The paint, the greenish paint, it is satin beach glass. White, just bright white. Let's see here. Now, I don't know if you can see it. It's hard to see, the sun's not out. But there is silver, like a silver glitter flake all over this thing. One whole can, I used one can very lightly on everything. You can see it on the wheels some. But and then a couple cans of clear coat. The bright pink and the greenish color all are Krylon. There is Krylon clear coat on here too. Now the white and the black are a cheap paint. They're like $1.35 a can at the Dollar General. That's what the white and black are. But as for the green and the pink, them are Krylon. Like I said, I go through all the paint in a previous video of the Mean Queen. I'll post a link down in the bottom of the description. All right, let's get to the motor. Now on the motor, this is a cheap eBay carburetor. That's all it is. It didn't even have a brand name on it. It's just a cheap one. And no, it does not tune out perfect. I did get it. It would run when I got it without tuning it, but I did have to do a little tune on it, set some stuff up like I wanted. UNI air filter, I wanted that. That was pretty cool. I did buy this. This was I think $14 online. Kept slipping off a little, vibrating off, so I put a screw in it. The carburetor was $12.95 with the hose, clamps, everything. That's how cheap it is, but it does run. I plan on rebuilding the Briggs carb I got and putting back on here, but I haven't done it yet. The motor is painted up. This I bought off, the motor cover I bought off eBay. I know it's not the right size one, but I knew most of it would work except for it being a little longer. I like it. It didn't have one when I bought the mower, so that's what I got. I got other stickers coming for places on this too. This was just spray painted with all the different colors. It looks tie-dye when it's spinning. Pretty nifty. New fuel filter, fuel lines, all that good stuff. Cleaned out the tank. Now, this switch right here is a old weed eater trigger for a weed eater. I wanted my choke still, so I ran this back up in here, attached it to the side right here with a screw, and ran it in there. And this is the cord off of like I said, the throttle for a weed eater. And if you watch, when you push this down, you choke it. So you never have to use it in Florida hardly. Maybe every once in a while when you're cranking it early in the morning, it's kind of cool. But I wanted to keep the choke. As for the throttle is running off the governor just like the lawnmower normally does. As y'all seen in the last video, she's got plenty of speed, but eventually I will do something a little bit different with this, and I'm not going to take the governor out, but this thing will run a lot faster than what y'all saw in the video if I use the governor or mess with the governor a little bit. But like I said, I'm going to leave this for now. She's just learning how to drive, so we're just going to leave the normal throttle setup, which I'll show you on the other side what that looks like. Carried the paint job all the way around the thing, obviously. Let's get to this metal pole, just scrap metal pole. I don't even know what it went to. This stuff right here is all over the mower. This is metal. It's for a rack, like you'd stack stuff on. It's the side rails, or like the decorative part. I got a bunch of it and I cut it up, and I've used this all over. But this is just to help keep your feet in. All y'all guys know that build. Whoops. Oh my gosh. Build these things. Just keep your feet in. It sturdies up the body a lot too from twisting. So now this right here is on the back of a truck tailgate. When you take it off to get to the latch stuff to work on it, this is that cover. I took that cover and cut the fender flares out of that. All I did was cut them out and welded them to the actual mower, just to give it that little bit of extra from slinging up. And that's what this is actually for, is to keep stuff from coming up and flying up as bad. Painted this, it's silicone in. She had to have her cup holder. This is the cutoff switch. Lights. Let's show you them real quick. Y'all saw them in the video. And then there's the little one on the back. The switch does light up. The steering wheel is a little go-kart racing steering wheel. We did order this offline. It was like $17, I think it was. $15, $16, $17 off eBay. Ordered it, painted it up. She loves it. It's cool. We did order, like I said, 3 of these. We do have more decals coming. As for in here, the vinyl is just to stop vibration a little bit and scratching too much. I know it ain't gonna last forever. I'll do something else with it. I do have some of these little rubber strips I'm gonna put all the way around this to stop the vibration. I'm gonna put a piece of metal underneath here and tack weld it and cover this eventually when I get to it. Like I said, I didn't get to everything I wanted to. Scrub the seat down. She likes it. It's comfortable for her. Keeping it. It came clean. Did the same paint job on the back. Cleaned up everything underneath here. I did keep the stickers, by the way. Let me show you that. Just so I'd have the info. I didn't rip them off, taped them up, painted over them. All right, got a new battery. We'll come back here. See, I use that same stuff. You see the rust? This thing's been painted for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and it's rained every day here. And that's one reason it's so late getting this thing out. I wanted to get it done earlier, but rain. I cut the back fender out. This is the stands off of a wheelbarrow, old piece of square metal tubing. U-bolts. This is a hot plate. This is actually an old hot plate you used to put food on your table. She loves the design. We have a lot of stuff like this, and a buddy gave it to me, and it works perfect. And welded it to it. Little hooks, chain, another piece of grate. This right here, this is the rear suspension leaf spring bracket off of a golf cart. Very well welded and made, heavy duty. All you had to do was slip it over the old one and weld it on, and there's your hook. You could hook anything to it. It ain't coming off. I did carry the paint job underneath the mower a little bit. If y'all see, there's paint everywhere down the frame and all that good stuff. This is the custom Harley exhaust. All right, this is where the sound comes from. It is cool. I've played with exhaust quite a bit since I've been a teenager, and there's a few little things you can do to make them sound certain ways. What I did was I took the Harley exhaust and I cut the middle section out, left the baffles on this side, the baffles on this side, put it together, welded it up. Now I have a very short Harley muffler. Really not a muffler no more, it's more of a tip. It's got a little bit of the noise reduction left right here and right here, but it's really just a tip. The pipe itself that runs down way back over there, the pipe itself is actually trampoline pipe. I had to weld some little holes in it. I'll show you here in a minute. But the little bars stops vibration. It is welded to the actual body itself. The wind coming through these little things keeps the exhaust blowing down instead of up. I do know this. I've used this before, done similar things. I don't know what this is or where it came from, to be honest with you. If I thought about it long enough, I probably could remember, but just something that was in my scrap pile. The spring right here that's holding the brake back, this actually is a mower deck spring that came off of this mower. I used a lot of pieces that came off this mower, and I used a lot of them that came off of Mayhem, but yeah, that's the spring. It holds it back. I like it better. It's a lot tighter. Let me see. Oh, real quick, this little thing, I'm not for sure what it is. I know it came on something to protect something in the mail, probably, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, I throw stuff like this in my junk stuff, but finally I have a use for it. It actually plugs the exhaust. So when we get done and it cools down, if it's raining or something, this is what plugs my exhaust. Hey, it works. Oh, almost fell down. Alrighty, let's see. This side is pretty much the same, guys, all the way around. All right, gas pedal. I'm gonna get to something else in a minute. The gas pedal, she wanted something cool. I said, go look at the Moon stuff online. She looked it up, found this one. This is it. You can see how big my hand is compared to it. It's like the medium-sized one. I think she paid $15, $16 on eBay for it. Tapped a hole here to run the scooter brake line to this, and I used the actual clamp that came with this, so you run the line through and then bolt it together. This drilled another little hole here to run the spring through. The spring just helps keep everything good. That actually went through really easy. Now what's holding the actual wire itself, or the cable itself, I don't know, I know it's some kind of electrical connection I had, bolted to the side, and it had a little perfect little hole stuck out perfect, and I actually used the actual clips that were on the scooter to clip it, or the bolt it to it. So like I said, that's it. The bar is useful for many things. I can do a lot of things to this. The reason for the bar, my purpose for it, was to adjust this. It goes now, but if I go too far, it's too far. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole in here straight up, and I'm going to put an adjustment screw right here for when I adjust this, or the motor, or tune it. If I need to tune this or mess with this any for stretch or anything like that, I have an adjustment screw right here. That's what I'm going to do, because it doesn't really take, this right here is about full throttle, so we're going to change that later. This right here is a lock like you would put on a door. Screw this part to the wall, and this is the part that flips over the little latch part on the door. That's all that is, little hinge. But I tack welded it to the foot pedal, and there you go. There's your foot pedal. Let's see. All right, this side of the motor, my lights, this is what they look like on the inside. Like I said, they were very tiny. I welded little brackets in here and drilled holes in the brackets, and that's all I did. It was just made my own little brackets flush with the hole that was already there. That one I had to put an extra bolt on. They are cheap. Like I said, when I got it, the nut that came with it was already stripped, brand new. They were only like $8 for the set. So I found a little setup that works. It's tight. It's in there. Like you said, I welded that all the way around. Duct tape, heck yeah. All my lights are hooked up, ran. Now, I took the old spark plug out of Ratchet's old Briggs, because it was practically brand new. That's what's in here. This actually came off, the coil actually came off of Mayhem, because the one that was on here was burned up. This is just rubber hose to cover this, keep it stiff. Now excuse me, the exhaust itself, this is just some kind of 90 metal tubing I already had. This is one of the cheap little $8 mufflers, $6 mufflers that you can buy. You all seen these. What I actually did with this was I turned it around, and this is another piece of what is this? This is trampoline pole. This is a smaller trampoline pole. This, there's more of that for the bracing for the exhaust. Yes, I know my welds aren't pretty. I don't care, they work. All right, and then the exhaust comes under. I had a slide piece right here that I put these two together. They're welded, it ain't going nowhere. There's another piece of this stuff. It works great. Now, this is where the little fun part happened. Right here, when I had this, before I connected these, there is a little tiny piece of metal that goes right here that I put kind of like a restrictor. So when this comes down, it hits this, and it hits that little restrictor plate. Just a little bit. It's like angled like this, if you can tell. My finger ain't in the way. And when that comes down, the exhaust goes up, and it makes it rumble a little bit more, but the little bit of exhaust gets caught up underneath this little restrictor plate, and for the most part, that's what pops for when it comes out. That looks like it's not filled, but yes, that hole's filled, I promise. Just like that one. Just crappy welds. Anyhow, the starter that was on here, I think is still good, because I thought it had an issue when it didn't have an issue, and I'd found the issues. But I took the starter that was on Ratchet's old motor, which I kept all the pieces and parts to his old motor that I could. Used it on here, works perfect. All right, the lights, wires, none of it's perfect. I ripped all of it out for the most part and put my own back in the way I wanted to do it. Okay, shift knob. We thought really long and hard on this one. We looked a lot for this, because I was not going to make a custom one. This one, she had found it. She wanted something that went with the machine. I'm glad she bought it. It's perfect. I had to make my own little sleeve in here. That was it, but it is JB welded, locked, and then the lock screw. It's all there. Ain't going nowhere. She loves it. If you like this and interested in them, they're a really cool company we found online. They are called lethalthreat.com, www.lethalthreat.com. Really cool. They have all kinds of really cool stuff. I was just showing y'all because I know I'd probably get questions where that came from. They are very well made, by the way. They are not cheap. I'm not going to give out prices because I don't know what exactly they're doing right now and how they're running their stuff, but it's a little bit more than some, but it's not as expensive as I've seen. It's well worth the money. It is, like I said, it's really well made, but it matches the mower great. I just wanted to show y'all where it came from, just in case anybody had any questions. And that's the setup. Like I said, it's the company is lethalthreat.com. Just letting you know, pretty cool company. We were very satisfied when we got it. And my UNI sticker I put on the back of there. All right, now give me 1 second, guys, and we are going to climb under this bad boy and look at a few things. I did put a tensioner, well, a guide pulley in, not tensioner. There's no tension to it. It's just a little guide pulley that I got off Mayhem, my other Murray, that somebody had already put on there. I took the pulley itself off and made my own bracket out of some, I think it's 1.5 inch square tubing, scrap tubing I had, and put the guide on it. Now, on the back of the guide, there is a bar that keeps it in there and runs it up through there. Keeps everything straight. I think it's like a little I think that's actually a 1.5 or 1 3/4 inch pulley. But the belt that is on there is the old one off of Mayhem. It fit. This is a 95 inch, 1/2 inch mower belt, and it fits my application. Before we get any farther with this, I'm gonna stop for a second. The skid plate that's underneath here, all right, the skid plate I know is not going to protect this 100%, but it will protect it a little bit from too much hitting it straight on. I know I can hit the bottom. I'm gonna fix this later. I am going to put a transmission like mount and heavy duty brackets up in here to get rid of this weak point where it breaks and get that out of there. I'm gonna make some brackets right here. But this right here is a old like tile scraper or floor scraper. I cut it off, took the old deck, some of the old deck bolts or some stuff I had from the mower, and used them to weld it up, which I could have bolted it, but I didn't want to. I welded it, and that will stop anything from going up in the actual clutch, shifter, all that. And as y'all see, I drive through Palm Meadows a lot, and I've already found this with ratchet, and I'm going to put a skid plate on ratchet mainly for the clutch. This I'm gonna fix later. I know it needs it, but right now, this with her driving, I don't want nothing getting jammed up in there. The shifter, the clutch, the brake, any of that. So that's what this is for. That's all that is. All right, everybody. I stuck my phone up in here to get some light. It's getting dark out, but I showed you the guide pulley. This is not a tensioner pulley. This is just a guide. It is a solid mounted bracket with a solid mounted pulley. That's all it is guide. It guides this side over here, but it also is in perfect order. If you can see, it will guide this one from hitting anything too. So that worked out great. Now I'm gonna get to the clutch. I set this up a couple different ways. It's been tested about 3 different ways. And when I came to the clutch, just like with everything else, I did not want to do, let me say this, I didn't want to do the same type of stuff. So I wanted something a little bit different, and I'm working my way to that. This is just the starting stages of it, and this is not the perfect application of how it can and will be. It will be made a lot better, and it's also going to be made where you can use it on different applications and know what size pulley and belt to use to make this work. That's my whole point about this and the way we're going to set this up and what I'm going to eventually do with it. There probably will be quite a few videos on this until I get it perfect, to be honest with you, if I can ever get it perfect. But I'm going to work on this whole clutch system and see what I can do, what I can do different, give some more options and stuff like that on it for the people that don't know how to do all this stuff. Or like I said, I didn't spend no money on this clutch, and you saw this mower run fine. But if you see, right here, I took the original clutch plate. This is what I did. I modified it to work for my application without putting a double clutch in it. I came up with a brain fart, to be honest with you, when it came to this, and I did reach out to a few people, but one in particular, really, we talked about it a lot, and I went with some stuff we were talking about. Redneck Computer Geek helped me out a lot on this. We actually he video chatted with me. He actually got his Murray and flipped it over and helped me go through some different scenarios on what I could do to make it technically different. He wasn't saying anything was any better or any of this. I just told him, what are my options, or what do you think? Because I had my own, but I wanted a second opinion, and this is what we came up with. I took the clutch plate and took the pulley off, the idler pulley off. I took the idler pulley off of the original clutch plate, like I said. I just repeated myself. And I extended the clutch plate out about 1.5 to 2 inches. When I did this, let me see if I can get this light up here where y'all can see this better without being blinded. When I did this, I drilled another hole about 1.5 out. Now, when I did this, I did do 2 or 3 different modifications to the plate before I got it to where it's at right now. In the process of doing that, I figured out a bunch of different ways that this could actually be done. Now, what me and Redneck Computer Geek talked about on this, I did not go through with it 100% of what we talked about doing. I did what I needed to do out of my part of it to get this going. The concept of what we were talking about of just remodifying the clutch plate itself and spring mechanism to work with what you already have saves you, oh, come here, turn back on, saves you money for, you know, for the people that don't have a lot to spend. It saves you some time. It really did not take me that long to modify this. Well, let me say that it did, because I'm doing something to try to test other things, so I did 3 different things on this to test it out, as in moving it to 3 different locations and 3 different ways to find the best drivability for the transmission and shifter and all that. So this is what I came up with. The way it is right now is I welded it, or I cut the plate, extended it out, put another hole in it, moved the idler pulley out about 1.5 inches. Now when I moved it out, it also moved it like in and out a little bit. So right there, I did modify that. I put my own guide in. Like I said, I know it's not perfect looking, guys, but it does work. Now that guide I can bend in and out to get my belt out with, unlike the original one that was on the mower, which was a pain in the butt. So that works perfectly fine like that. All this will be cleaned up and explained as I go. I want to show you what me and Redneck Computer Geek were talking about. Like I said, how to do this without putting a double clutch in if you didn't want to. Which they work great, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with them. That's not my point about this. My point about this is other options. And what I actually did in the first place, first step, was I took this bolt out. I took this plate out and I drilled a hole underneath here on this, over 1/2 inch and up 1/2 inch. I moved this whole plate up. In doing this, after modifying the actual idler pulley plate, after doing that, I actually tightened the spring up and this whole thing worked. It worked. My issue at that time was I didn't have a belt that would work for this setup because of the way it moved. It does change belt sizes a little bit. So that's when I was like, Mayhem's belt works, so I'm gonna go see if Mayhem's works. So I pulled Mayhem's off. It was the right size to a point. It works, like y'all saw in the video. But what I did was, to make my stuff work, was I took and moved it back and left my modification I did on the actual idler pulley bracket, clutch pulley bracket. Now, in doing that, I also, if you can see, I took the swing out of this plate. I took half of the swing out of that plate. with your clutch pedal. So when you push your clutch pedal, instead of it having a whole 2 inches of swing in this plate before it does certain things, I put a stopping point halfway. So mine only has half the swing. But as you see, my clutch is up all the way like it should be. Now when you hit this, it all moves the same. And if you can kind of, let me see if I can get you some light back here. Everything works normally fine. Now, modifying this, like I said, I showed y'all what I did. I cut certain things, used it for certain things. I can put the 5/8 inch belt on here, and this actually pulls the clutch out to about right here. The problem is when I drop the clutch to push it in, the 5/8 thick belt, heavy duty 95 inch, is so tight and thick that it actually pushes this clutch over to the frame. So I notched this out right there on the side to actually where this wheel will go in the frame without touching. And that gives me so much more room in the swing. So I know it all kind of, like I said, I don't have this perfectly set up. I did not do everything that me and Redneck Computer Geek talked about. I did, but then I backtracked a little bit and got it perfect for my application, or good enough for my application as y'all saw it driving in the video. Like I said, I am going to show y'all eventually how this can be moved around just by putting different holes back here, up there, and moving a few things to get your clutch to work, and what belt you have to work with, what pulleys you have, or what you want. My whole point about it is finding out what pulleys work with what belts and where the adjustments are on this. Just by moving all this stuff and making 2 or 3 different holes that you can adjust if you want to, and re-welding that up there, cutting and welding that, it's not that hard. It's not that bad, and it actually does work really good. And that's why I have the other pulley and other belts, because I'm going to show you on some of these other holes and other adjustments eventually how you can move this stuff around to work for what you got and get pretty good performance out of it. But like I said, that's what we were talking about. We went through a whole bunch of ideas. I used a few of the things we talked about, and one of the primary things I used to do this works. So I'm going to move forward with it and test everything out and see if we can perfect this in a couple different ways for other people to have other options. I might not be the first to do any of this, but I do know it's a first for me, so I'm going to mess with it and see what I can do in different ways of doing things. That. like I said, I have rain moving in. Try to get this done a little quickly. If y'all have any questions about anything I've done to this, please comment. Ask in the comments. I'll answer everything I can for you. Guys, I like to do things different. I honestly do. I don't like to do the things that everybody does. There's nothing wrong with it. I just like to figure out different ways and do things differently, no matter what it is. The paint job, the way things are set up, and it's everything I do. But with this, it's the same thing. As you see, I like the flashy stuff. I like making it flashy. It's fun. But a lot of what I'm gonna do, as you see through the videos and stuff, is testing things. I test things. I like to test them. You're not gonna see a lot of repair videos. You're not gonna see a lot of work videos. It's maybe some fabrication videos, but to be honest with you, I do have a few fabrication videos and they didn't do very good. So I think y'all like the driving and just looking at the builds more than the work part. That's really, I'll leave that up to the other guys on YouTube that do that a lot better than me. But I'll build this stuff, we'll run this stuff, we will mud this stuff and climb stuff, and I will show you every bit of it and what breaks, what I do to fix it, and what I do to fix this stuff, and what I do on this stuff, guys. It's just my opinion. It's just the way I want to approach it. It doesn't mean anything that anybody else does is wrong. It's just what I want to do, and I'd like to give some other options to people. So again, thank you, Redneck Computer Geek, buddy. I appreciate you helping me out. Like I said, I didn't do everything that we talked about to 100%, but I will get to it eventually. But I got it started and it does work. So I'm very happy with that. Thank you very much for helping me out and kind of guiding me to what I did to a point. And like I said, we'll see how far I can take it and what I can do with it. But also, thank you to Lucky 7, Go-Karts Gone Fishing. There's so many of them. Polar Bear, all the guys that Lucky's board on his chats. Y'all guys have helped me so much. Thank you for supporting me, giving me shout outs, doing all that good stuff for me. I love all y'all guys. I love all y'all shows. I really do. I appreciate everything that everybody's done. This is what I'm going to continue to do. Guys, help share this. Share these videos. This is it's fun. I love doing it. Just share them. Show people. That's what I want. I want y'all to show people so they can subscribe. Help build me. Build this up. I want to show people what you can do. This is one of the big questions I got. Man, that must have cost you, or how much did that cost you, or how much time did that take you? All right, time-wise was just because of brain. Honestly, I probably could have built this bad boy, or I'm sorry, it's okay, bad girl, in a week. Honestly, it wasn't as hard as it looks. I will do this. I'm not gonna, I didn't do it on this video because of time, but I will add up everything that I put into this money-wise and an average of time, so I can tell everybody how much this cost me to build. But I'm gonna tell you, it's not as much as you think. And to be honest with you, if you already had the tires and wheels, it didn't cost hardly anything to build this. I put more money in the tires and wheels because, and which are still used, they are used tires and wheels front and back, found them on Marketplace, because she wanted a certain look and I was running a time frame. So I found them, I got them. But if you have your own wheels and tires, this is not that expensive to do, I promise you, and I can show you how to do it. The paint job, guys, the paint job was spray paint. It was 2 templates I cut out of cardboard. If you have a shop, great. Don't try to do it in a windy day. It ain't gonna work, I promise you. But find a pattern on your mower. Do not paint first. Find the pattern with the template, make you a pattern, and then just spray paint the outside of the template. Make you a base coat, which I used white, and then spray paint the outside of the template. That's all that is, guys. It's really not that hard. I think it took me an hour. I painted the white first, which took me about 30 minutes to do the whole thing white. And then it probably took me an hour to do the paint job itself. And then another 15 minutes to clear coat it. Honestly, it is scratched up. It does have rust on it. This has been done for a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks now. It's been in the rain. It's been scratched, worked on, tore apart, put back together, everything. It's not perfect right now, but the paint job is pretty cool, and it's not that hard, guys, I promise you. I I have enough video or pictures left to show you what I did exactly. I hope that I had enough to put in this video. I'm saying that because I don't know what I got on my computer right now. But anyhow, guys, thank you to everybody on YouTube for all your help. I do appreciate it. I've had fun with this. I love all y'all guys' shows, women's shows that y'all have out there. It's like one big family. It's really fun. I love it. Facebook, same thing. Guys, appreciate it. If you're here from Facebook, I appreciate it. I appreciate all the support. Everything on Facebook, all my friends and followers and all that good stuff. Stay with me, stay tuned, keep up with this. I got a lot more coming. But be honest with you, if it wasn't for most of all y'all guys and everybody, I probably wouldn't be sitting right here right now. And my wife, she has been the biggest help to me doing this, starting me out with Ratchet. This was her present, this was her gift for a couple different things, mainly for how much she has been helping me and wanted to be a part of this. So she helped me build this. She did some to it. She picked out colors and everything else. She had just as much part of this build as I did. But it was her gift and she loves it. And I hope y'all get some awesome videos out of it. I will try to make as many as I can with it. And I bet you this one goes a little bit better through the mud than Ratchet does. We will attempt it. And like I say, guys, stay tuned. You know, let everybody know about this stuff. I want to be able to help people do this stuff cheaper. This wasn't expensive. Ratchet wasn't expensive. Spinner wasn't expensive. It doesn't have to be brand new. It doesn't have to be anything. You don't have to have a welder for a lot of this stuff. There's options. There's so many options for the younger kids and people starting out in this stuff to do it cheap. This wasn't expensive. I swear. I will add it up and I will get the price. I'll put it on the next video or something of how much it actually costs to do it. I will go ahead and do it and post it on Facebook. Tell you that. If you follow me on Facebook, I'll make a list price of everything I bought new in this. That way you know how much I actually have in this. And then the rest of it was scrap metal. My time. That was it. So I'll get that done for y'all. But I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed this. There's a lot more to come on this. There's a lot more stuff I want to test out and try on her mower. Thank y'all guys for everything. Stay tuned. I got some good stuff coming, I promise. I'm also starting a live chat. I'm gonna try to do 2 different shows, one sometime during the day and one late at night. That's coming. I do have it set up, just letting you know. I'm gonna try to build this as much as I can, guys, to be honest with you, and I need y'all's help. Thank you very much for everything. I know I keep saying that, guys, but it's very important. Y'all, it is like a big family I'm building right now. I love what I'm doing. I want to be here for the younger people, help them out. The newer people getting into this, they have so many questions. They have so many options, and everybody needs to understand you have your own way of doing it. Do it your way. Think of who you are. Put your personality into the mower. Yeah, this is my wife's mower, Mean Queen. So yeah, put your personality into the mower. That's the biggest thing I try to tell people. They're like, what color should I paint it? What's your favorite color? Honestly, go through a color chart online. Everybody's gonna give you an opinion, and there's nothing wrong with them. I give people my opinion every day, all day on there about stuff, but it's just an opinion. Some of it's fact, some of it works, some of it doesn't. The fact is, it's your build. Build it how you want to build it. Enjoy it, no matter who says what. If it's an automatic or hydro, them are perfectly fine mowers. That is what Spinner is. My kids and some of my older kids have more fun on Spinner because he's an automatic than they do any of them. He is very easy to drive and he'll go anywhere. He's just not a mud mower. He's my pulling mower. He's actually heavier than Ratchet. He's probably weighs twice as much as Ratchet, but the kids love him. He's a hydro. I can make him a mud mower, but I'm not going to. I have this one now and I have Ratchet, and I'm building Mayhem. But there's nothing wrong. What my point is there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with a 5-speed. You can make any mower almost that you buy work for a mud mower, race mower. It's just depending on what you got at your, what you have to do it with, or what you're willing to spend on it. Which my whole point about it is not spending money on it. Spending money on it's what puts everybody at a wall, a limit. There shouldn't be limits if you understand how to do things when you're limitless, and you are limitless. You just have to put in a little bit of work of finding people's trash, finding stuff people are throwing away, looking at something and saying that it's going, I can make that be something that it's not. Which this, like this, if you want to put a breather or a little air breather on top of this thing, there's so many ways of doing it. There's so many things you could utilize to make that. You could use a metal paint, roller paint tray, cut the brackets off, turn it upside down, cut the front of it off, and you have the perfect air intake thing to top. If y'all could, or any of y'all guys want something like that. They're heavy duty, they work. That's what I'm saying. Use what you have. Try to do it. Unless you have the money to spend on it, great, go for it. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not what I'm saying. The point of my show is, and the point of what I do, is to see how you can do it cheaply. It's not that I don't buy new stuff. Obviously I do, and I had to buy a motor for ratchet, but I did that on purpose. It's how cheap can you do it? What you can use to do it with that you don't have to spend money on. That's what I try to tell all these people. No matter what anybody else says, a lot of times, you can find a way of doing what you need to do without buying something new. A lot of times, welded or bolted, either way. Just got to find the right person to answer your question and be willing to take that chance of doing what they're telling you to do. And it's not just me. There's a lot of people that give a lot of great ideas out there. It's just going with it. So, guys, again, thank y'all again. I hope y'all enjoy the channel. Stay tuned for some live chats and rides and some other stuff I got planned. I'm going to start getting a lot more videos going. I want my channel to grow. Y'all guys, please help me with that. This is starting to become really important to me. It was really important to me. It's just getting more important to me because now I got ideas. I got ideas for other mowers that I'm going to theme out just this way, just like ratchet. I'm going to work off themes. That's how I'm going to build my mowers, are themes. So they're going to be kind of flashy. Some of them might not be. But like I said, hang in there with me. I got a lot to come, I promise. All right, I'm going to stop chatting, stop running my mouth, let y'all guys go. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like I said, if you have any questions, ask me in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share it. That's what I ask a lot of y'all. If you hit that like button and just share it, you don't have to comment. Share it for me. That's all I want you to do. That's all I ask for you to do, please. Just share it. I'd like to see what everybody thinks about this, about ratchet, about Mean Queen, about these themed out mowers. I want to hear everybody's opinion on them, to be honest with you. See how many people I can help out, do some really cool stuff to their mowers and anything they're building. But like I said, guys, y'all stay tuned. Peace out.